Okay, thanks so much for joining us on the bright side. We're talking health, eye health, and peptides, and various other nutrients for protecting the vision. Last program we left off talking about omega-3s and omega-6 essential fatty acids and vitamin A. And we're going to talk a little bit later on about glutathione and vitamin E. I don't know how many of you guys caught the latest article on vitamin E for Alzheimer's disease. That was kind of interesting. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But before we get into all of that, I want to touch on a subject real quickly that a caller brought up at the end of yesterday's program. And it was regarding a brain disease called Huntington's disease or Huntington's chorea. Chorea is Greek for dancing, and Huntington's chorea is a disease where you get these weird involuntary movements. Huntington's disease is said to be a genetic disease. That's a whole nother story that we can get into some other time. In any case, Huntington's disease is a brain disease. It's a degenerative disease, a neurodegenerative disease, meaning your brain just decays, your nervous system decays. That's all it really is. If you read a medical text on Huntington's disease, it's going to tell you a bunch of gibberish. I pulled up a website, the University of Utah Medical Center, which has a really good website with various medical descriptions, and I looked up Huntington's disease, and this is what they said about Huntington's disease. I'm not going to read you all this gibberish, but just so you get an idea, according to doctors, Huntington's disease is an autosomal dominant disease, usually present between the ages of 20 and 50 years, with a course that averages 15 years to death. Pathologically, there is a severe loss of small spiny neurons in the caudate and putamen, these are areas of the brain, and subsequent astrocytosis. That means an inflamed brain. With the loss of cells, the head of the caudate becomes shrunken and there is ex vacuo dilation. I love that. That means there's space created because the cells are dying. Of the anterior horns of the lateral ventricles, there is a loss of gamma-aminobutyric acid, acetylcholine, and substance P. And there's more, believe it or not. This is what doctors call Huntington's disease. Now, what I call Huntington's disease is a brain that's decaying, a brain that's degenerating. We don't need all this medical gibberish if we want to reverse our health conditions, whatever they may be. It's all well and good that you got an autosomal dominant disease and pathologically involves a severe loss of spiny neurons in the caudate and putamen, but that doesn't help us. We don't need all that information. I love the medical library. I love research. It's fun. It's interesting. I love the way the body works, but all of this gibberish, all of this minutia doesn't help us when it comes to reversing the degenerative process. The fact is, cells aren't doing their work, period. That's all you need to know. Cells are not doing their work. If you have arthritis, it means joint cells aren't doing their work. If you got diabetes, it means pancreatic cells aren't doing their work. You got liver disease, that means liver cells aren't doing their work. You got clotting blood, that means blood cells aren't doing their work. You got Huntington's disease, that means nerve cells or brain cells aren't doing their work. Brain cells are messed up, period. Yes, the DNA is freaked out. It's genetic in that sense, but it all has to do with cells that aren't doing their work. And that means all you got to do to address Huntington's disease or Alzheimer's disease or ALS or Parkinson's disease or any other neurodegenerative disease is figure out why the nerve cells aren't doing their work. That's it. Nothing more. And you don't need a doctor for that. You don't need a doctor. In fact, going to a doctor is going to make matters worse because you're probably going to get a prescription drug that isn't going to help you and is only going to hurt. This is the bright side message, people. And this is such good news because it means we can do this ourselves. We don't need anybody. You don't need me. You don't need Pharmacist Ben. You don't need doctors. You need some supplements. You need to take care of your digestive system. You need to take care of your blood sugar system. You need to stop the crap from coming into the body. The breakdown in the brain that happens when you have Huntington's disease is no different in essence than the breakdowns that occur in any cells, in any tissue, in any organ or gland or system anywhere in the body. So what do? How do you deal with this degenerative process? How do you deal with degenerative nerve cells or degenerating nerve cells or degenerating joint cells or degenerating digestive system cells or degenerating any cells? What do? All right, listen up, folks, because this is basic. This is everything you need to know to reverse any degenerative disease or just to age more slowly, to slow down the aging process, to age more gracefully, to stay healthier and younger longer. It is so, so simple. If you're listening to this program, you are fully capable and ready to take care of this yourself. So what do? You do exactly the same thing for Huntington's disease that you do for Alzheimer's disease, that you do for Parkinson's disease, that you do for multiple sclerosis, that you do for any neurodegenerative disease, that you do for any degenerative disease. Number one, focus on food. I cannot stress this enough. I know you guys are probably getting sick of hearing this, but if you got some kind of breakdown in the body, the first thing to do is focus on food. First of all, eat as little as possible. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not trying to be preachy here. I'm just giving you the chemistry. Just from the scientific biochemistry standpoint, the less your body has to process food, the less work your body has to do processing food, the more work it can do healing and growing and repairing and regenerating. All right, hang tight. We'll finish this up when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back after this. All right, so yesterday, at the end of the program, somebody called about Huntington's disease, and I always hate rushing through these things because not only are they very interesting, but there's so much involved in there's so many little things involved in the degenerative disease process. I always hate to say just take this supplement or that supplement. I'd rather have you guys understand what the heck is going on. It's really actually not that complicated. In the case of Huntington's disease or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, you're dealing with a breakdown in brain cells or a breakdown in the cells of the nervous system, nerve cells, neurons, whatever you want to call them. They're just breaking down. All disease is cell disease. As we've said so many times on this program, all disease is cell disease. Huntington's disease is cell disease, nerve cell disease. So what do you do to take care of the cell? Well, first of all, you don't need to go to a doctor, and you probably shouldn't go to a doctor. I know that's kind of heresy, but you shouldn't go to a doctor because they can't help you at the level of a cell. If you need some surgery, you got some kind of major trauma, you got hit by a car, that's different. But for degenerative disease, there's nothing that the doctor can do for you. And this whole scam with Obamacare is just a way of entrenching the medical model, of creating generations to come, of permanently entrenching for generations to come this idea that you go to the doctor for a checkup, that you go to the doctor to take care of your health conditions. It's a scam. It's a lie. It doesn't serve us. If you have a degenerative disease, it's not a doctor issue. It's a personal issue. It's a personal healthcare issue that we can take care of ourselves. Number one, whatever it is, focus on food. Eat as little food as possible. Allow your body to work to marshal its resources, to save its resources for the healing process. I'm not saying malnourish yourself. I'm saying eat as little calories as possible. Make sure you're getting your nutrients. This is where supplements come in. But calories need to be as sparse as possible. Calories represent heat. Heat means fire. Fire is dangerous. It burns. Yes, your body can utilize fire and calories and heat for energy, but after that, it stores it. Not to mention the fact that it has to process it and use a lot of nutrients to process it. So eat as few calories as possible. Listen to your belly. Listen to your body, not your brain. Your brain will say, oh, I got to go get some food. It's 3 o'clock or it's 6 o'clock or it's 12 o'clock or everybody's eating or I don't want to be the only one not eating or I'm bored. That's what your brain will say. Your belly will say, if you're listening, please, no more. Or it'll say, I'm a little hungry. Let's get something in there. And you know what? It's, for the most part, you don't eat a lot. Your stomach is about as big as your fist, and you don't need to fill it up to be satisfied. So eat as little as possible. Number one, for my friend out there with Huntington's or anybody with a nerve disease, you'll notice you're going to feel better when you stop eating. You'll notice it. You'll feel it. You'll feel you have more energy when your body is not eating. When your body's not processing food, when your body's not digesting food, you're going to feel better. Eliminate problem foods, pro-inflammatory foods, refined flours, refined sugars, refined fats, anything really refined, but especially refined sugars and fats and flours. Anything that wigs out your digestive system, that causes constipation or diarrhea or bloating or cramping, eliminate them. More protein, less starch. We ripped on Dr. McDougall a couple of days ago, last week. He's got a book called The Starch Solution. This is the doctor idea, and I don't want to say all doctors are this silly. A lot of them are. Dr. McDougall says, eat more starch. Don't eat more starch. Eat more starch if you want to get fat. Eat more starch if you want to give your body more work to do. If you want to give your blood sugar system more work to do. Eat more protein, on the other hand. That's much better. Protein is healing. Protein's regenerating. Protein is a little bit difficult to process. Make sure you're using digestive enzymes. Make sure you're using small amounts of protein. Protein represents the tools that your body needs to do its work. Sugar represents energy. Starch represents energy. Protein represents tools. It's much more functional to give the body the tools it needs with smaller amounts of energy rather than giving it lots of energy and less tools. Whey and egg protein are especially loaded with biochemical tools. And make sure you're using lots of bone soup, which is absolutely packed with nutritional and protein tools, especially for the nervous system, for you guys out there with any kind of neurodegenerative disease. Use glutamine powder. Use GI, gastrointestinal, digestive system supplements. Glutamine powder, aloe vera, essential fatty acids, zinc, digestive enzymes. Get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence, folks. That is the most powerful probiotic supplement you'll ever use. If you don't do buy any other longevity products, just use the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Even if you don't do anything else, just use those two products. Signing up for longevity for a one-time $10 fee is worth it just for the money you're going to save on those two products, let alone all the other benefits of having a longevity business. Just those two products, just the money you save on the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is worth your one-time $10 fee. Z-Radical for the digestive system, lecithin for the digestive system. Remember, this is all for neurodegenerative diseases. Anything you could do to support the digestive tract. Anything you could do to keep toxins out of the blood through leaky gut, to patch up the digestive tract. And then don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to make sure you're oxygenating and calming down the adrenal stress system. Huntington's disease, degenerative disease of any kind, really, but especially brain degenerative diseases are exacerbated by adrenal stress. Calm those adrenals down through oxygenation and blowing off carbon dioxide. Make sure you're doing small amounts of exercise, especially for neurodegenerative or muscular diseases. Small amounts of weight-bearing exercises. Keep yourself flexible and to build muscle. And then don't forget your fat-soluble nutrients, vitamins D, E, A, and K. This is a protocol for all degenerative diseases and for the health of the entire body. And by the way, the health of the eyes also. The eyes are part of the brain. I know we started off talking about eye health, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But the eyes are part of the brain, and this all has to do with neurodegeneration. For a listener with Huntington's disease, everything we talk about on the bright side is going to be important. Vitamin E, essential fatty acids, polysaccharides, those long-chain sugars, hyaluronic acid, and the glucans, those can all be helpful. And fucoidan from the Z-Radical. And, of course, glutathione, which is unspeakably important for the entire nervous system. And the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, nutrient density, especially the water-soluble vitamins, the B vitamins, and electrolytes are very important for the nervous system, and the easy absorption in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine can make an especially big difference if you have digestive problems. Even if you don't, the liquid format allows the BTT to go right to work, usually within 2 or 3 days. All right, so if you got Huntington's disease, you got any kind of neurodegenerative disease, it is not a doctor issue. There is zippo, nada, nothing the medical model can do for you, but there are tremendous things we can do for ourselves. Using nutritional supplementation, using dietary strategies, watching our foods, getting on a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Dr. Wallach and all the folks at Longevity. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 855-660-4261 is our number. We do have lines open for you. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. We're talking about glutathione and eye health. We're talking about eye health in general. On our last program, we left off talking about vitamin A for the eyes. Vitamin A is probably the most well-known of the eye nutrients. The ancient Egyptians knew about vitamin A for the eyes. 20,000 international units a day is a good place to be for vitamin A. Doctors will tell you that's too much. I'm telling you that's not too much, but make sure you're taking your vitamin A with vitamin D and all of your other anabolic nutrients. A for anabolism. Vitamin A is your building nutrient for bodybuilding, for muscle building, for the immune system, for the skin, for the eyes. Anytime you want to build tissue, you want to think about vitamin A. Vitamin A goes together with other anabolic nutrients, especially protein. There's a very important relationship between protein and vitamin A, and zinc for that matter, and taurine for that matter. Those are 4 very important building nutrients It's no accident that zinc and vitamin A are also key players in skin health as well. For acne, in fact, you can induce acne lesions simply by removing zinc out of the diet of laboratory animals. And many of us are deficient in zinc. Zinc and copper go together, and because of copper in pipes, it's much more common for people to be getting copper and then losing zinc. On the other hand, if you start supplementing with zinc, you may end up copper deficient, and copper is important for blood vessels and for pigmentation. So you want to make sure you're taking your zinc and copper together along with 20,000 international units of vitamin A, 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day, and then, as we said, maybe 100 to 200, even up to 500 milligrams of taurine a day. And then you want about half a gram to a gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. Sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Around 100 grams of protein a day for the average person, 75 to 100 grams of protein a day. Chicken breast will get you about 20 grams of protein. An egg will get you about 7 or 8 grams of protein. I like scoops of protein. One of the reasons I like protein powder so well is because you can measure exactly how much protein you're getting. You know exactly what you're getting when you do a scoop of whey protein. You're getting 30 grams. That's roughly what a scoop is. Or actually, whey protein's usually around whey protein powders are usually around 70% or so protein. So a scoop is going to get you 20, 21 grams or so of protein. In any case, whey protein, egg protein, all of that goes together with your zinc and your taurine and your vitamin A for building. Selenium is also important for the eyes. You want to make sure that you're getting at least a couple hundred micrograms of selenium. Doc Wallach talks about 600 to 800 micrograms of selenium, at least 200 or 300 micrograms of selenium a day. Selenium is your protective mineral. It's a major antioxidant. It's important for the heart. It's important for protection from cancer. It helps control estrogen. Got a letter from a gal in Korea, Suzanne in Korea, who listens to the program, and she wanted to know about estrogen and estrogen therapy. I had her letter here somewhere. She wants to know about estrogen replacement therapy. I'm not a big believer in estrogen replacement therapy because estrogen is a stress hormone. A lot of folks don't realize that. A lot of doctors don't realize that estrogen is a stress hormone. It's one of the hormones that's secreted when the body is under stress, especially the stress of pregnancy. Estrogen is not necessarily a female hormone. Men make estrogen, like women make estrogen, although women make more. Progesterone, on the other hand, that's a building hormone. That's an anti-stress hormone and a building hormone, a bone-building hormone, a tissue-building hormone. Progesterone is a hormone that helps you get pregnant. Estrogen is a hormone that builds a baby. If you want to get pregnant, you're looking to get pregnant, progesterone therapy is something that you might want to think about. Progesterone cream is a great way to get progesterone in. Selenium protects you from excess estrogen. So if you're worried about estrogenic cancers or estrogenic diseases, or somebody's told you got too much estrogen in your system, or you've got some of the side effects of excess estrogen, like cysts and fibroids and anxiety and weight gain, think about using selenium, which can be protective against excess estrogen. And, of course, selenium is a wonderful antioxidant. It works in conjunction with other antioxidants. It works in conjunction with vitamin E and vitamin C, and it can protect your eyes from photooxidation. Use the OPC selenium from Longevity. Take 3 or 4 of those a day. And in addition, you also want to make sure you get your Vision FX, which has a little selenium in there also. If you have eye health issues, you'd be smart to use vitamin E, and it's mixed tocopherol form or tocotrienol form, 400 international units a day. Just a couple of days ago, an article came out. I don't remember where this article came from. Got to pull it up here, but it was on vitamin E and Alzheimer's disease. Vitamin E slows down functional decline in Alzheimer's disease patients, and this is a daily dose of 2,000 international units a day. 2,000 international units a day. I'm telling you, take 400 international units a day. That's really, most studies talk about using 400 IU a day. 2,000 IU a day slowed functional decline in patients with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease without significantly increasing mortality in the treatment group. This is from the Journal of the American Medical Association. A couple weeks ago, they were telling you multiple vitamins don't help. Now we know vitamin E, at least in this study, slows down functional decline in patients with Alzheimer's disease. But as we said earlier in the program, vitamin E and Alzheimer's disease or vitamin E can help not only with Alzheimer's disease, but with any neurodegenerative disease. Alzheimer's disease is just another version of Parkinson's disease. It affects a different part of the brain. That's all. It's the only difference. Alzheimer's disease affects the cognitive area. Parkinson's disease affects the movement area. Huntington's disease affects the movement area. All the same idea, brain degeneration. Use vitamin E, 400 IU a day. And use it with your selenium. They go together. And your vitamin C, they go together also. Vitamin E, vitamin C, and selenium go together. If you use your Mighty 90, get on the Vision FX, get on the OPC Selenium from Longevity. You're going to meet a lot of these nutritional needs. Get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. Sign up for a one-time $10 fee. You can get all your products at the wholesale price. You can help spread the word, and you can help minimize the risks of these degenerative diseases. And then we come to the body's most important antioxidant, body's most important protective substance, the body's most important anti-cancer substance, the body's most important eye health substance, and that is glutathione. We started this whole discussion a couple weeks ago talking about peptides. We started talking about eye health and pigments. We finished up talking about nutrients for the eye. Now I want to return to the subject of peptides, specifically the peptide called glutathione, which in addition to being very important for eye health, is a super stupendously important defensive molecule. Now you can't really take glutathione supplements, and I know there are some out there, and there's some, I should almost say you can't take glutathione supplements because there are ways that you can protect glutathione. Glutathione is broken down very quickly, and that's the problem with just straight glutathione. That's why you don't see a lot of glutathione supplements. But there are some strategies that you can use. I'll tell you what those are when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 855-660-4261 is our bright side number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
The nation's largest independently owned and operated talk radio network. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for being here, folks. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear us advertise on the bright side or recommended on the bright side, you can check out the shopping cart at brightsideben.com. You can pull down on the shopping cart. You can also click on the Join the Team link if you want to start yourself a longevity business and make some money selling longevity products. Enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. Be your own boss and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. They can help you with that. Or you can click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com. and somebody will get back to you. If you're in Austin, come see me at Brave New Books on the 23rd of January, or if you're in Wichita Falls, love to see you at Bob and Judy Bell's Super Saturday. That's the 18th of January. I'll be doing talks, both those venues, Brave New Books, and I'm not sure where I'll be in Wichita Falls, but you can find out where by heading over to brightsideben.com. Okay, we're talking glutathione and eye health. Glutathione is the body's most important detox substance. Glutathione is a type of protein. It's a peptide. It's made out of three little pieces, three little amino acids. That's the reason why you're not going to see a lot of glutathione supplements out there. That's because glutathione is broken down by the digestive system very rapidly into its three components. A much better strategy for building glutathione is to get yourself the building blocks for glutathione, especially the proteins, the peptides. It's made up of three little pieces, three little amino acid pieces. Glycine is one of those pieces. Glycine is a really neat amino acid that's found in bone soup and found in cartilage products. The second amino acid is cysteine, which we talked about earlier as being related to taurine. Cysteine is another animal type of amino acid. Both glycine and cysteine are found in animal proteins. If you're a vegetarian, the chances are pretty darn good you're going to be deficient in cysteine unless you're supplementing or making sure you're getting lots of protein-containing vegan foods or vegetarian foods. Glycine, is kind of tricky. Most nutritionists will tell you don't need to worry about glycine, but I talked to a lot of folks who do functional testing, and they say that many people are glycine deficient. Glycine is found in the gel caps, the glucogel caps, and in bone soup, and in whey protein. In fact, whey protein is a great source of all the building blocks for glutathione. You'll actually find glutathione in whey protein. That's to me, this is one of the reasons it may be the most important distinction between whey protein and all other proteins, including egg protein. And that is the fact that whey protein has these substances that the mother passes on to the baby via the milk that are important for building the body. Egg protein is going to have some of these building substances, but not to the same degree as whey protein will. If you're a vegan, you're going to miss out on all of these substances. You can get your protein, certainly, if you're a vegan, and your amino acids if you're a vegan, but it's much trickier, and you're depriving yourself of this powerful protein source, whey protein, and to a certain degree egg. And then there's the third amino acid, and that's something called glutamine. We're going to spend some time talking about glutamine because that is just so important for many reasons. Glutamine is an essential, non-essential amino acid. Much like taurine is not really essential, but it is essential. In other words, you don't absolutely 100% have to have it in your diet, but it sure would be a good idea to get in your diet. The same is true about glutamine, and glutamine is so important. Glutamine is the most abundant free-form amino acid found in the body. Like taurine, it's not found in a lot of different proteins. Actually, it's only found in a couple of proteins. Taurine, I don't think is found in any. But glutamine is the most abundant free amino acid, and we'll spend a lot of time talking about glutamine here in the next couple of days. So glutathione is a major protector, probably the most important protecting substance in the body. Glutathione is made by the body and all the cells of the body, especially the cells of the liver, where it plays a key role in detox, a key role in purification, a key role in getting drugs out of your body, prescription drugs or otherwise. Although glutathione is not an essential nutrient like glutamine, it's not essential. You don't need to take in supplemental glutathione. You probably would be smart to make sure you get a steady stream of these raw materials coming into your body. In addition to the amino acid raw material building blocks for glutathione, the B vitamins are really, really important for helping build glutathione. And making sure you're getting enough vitamin B2, making sure you're getting your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. To me, that's one of the best ways to make sure you're getting your B vitamins. It not only is it dense with the B complex, but the stuff tastes great. And because the BTT's liquid format, it goes right to work even if you have digestive problems. So glutathione is a tripeptide. It's got 3 amino acids, glycine, glutamine, and cysteine. Make sure you're eating high protein foods, including whey and egg, but also soy, bone soup, seafood, meat. All of these are going to provide you with the building blocks for making glutathione. And make sure you're getting your sulfur and your selenium also. Sulfur and selenium activate glutathione. Sulfur is important for the chelating properties of glutathione. Selenium is like a little battery that turns on glutathione. Yesterday we talked about MSM with a caller. MSM is a stupendously important nutritional supplement, completely 100% non-toxic, yet it's an important component of connective tissue, of collagen. It helps activate glutathione. It's got chelating properties to help detoxify radiation toxicity. Yesterday we talked about protecting yourself from radiation using algae and using fucoidin and using the Z radical and using zeolites. Yesterday there was an article that came out about curcumin. Turmeric. Turmeric is fast becoming one of my favorite nutritional supplements, or herbal supplements, I should say. And yesterday there was an article that just came out, and I'm trying to look for it here, but I can't find it. In any case, using curcumin for radiation and also for cancer. Here it is. A pilot trial of radioprotective effects. A pilot clinical trial of radioprotective effects of curcumin supplementation in patients with prostate cancer. This was a study where they used curcumin, which is the active ingredient in the spice turmeric. They used curcumin and turmeric to protect patients who were dealing with radiation therapy for prostate disease. And this was a double-blind study, and this is a study that found that curcumin, you can use curcumin to protect yourself from some of the toxicity associated with radiation. Conclusions from the study: curcumin can confer radioprotective effects in patients with prostate cancer who undergo radiation therapy. Longevity's got some neat turmeric products. I think the Cell Shield's got some turmeric in there. So if you're dealing with radiation, if you have cancer, prostate cancer, any kind of radiation, you just want to protect yourself from Fukushima radiation, solar radiation, any kind of radiation, you'd be smart to get yourself on some curcumin or use the spice turmeric. So selenium and sulfur activate your MSM molecule, and also selenium and sulfur can help support glutathione production. Glutathione contains selenium and sulfur, I should say. If you aren't making enough glutathione, if you got intestinal problems, if you're not absorbing your protein, you may want to consider liposomal glutathione. Liposomal glutathione is glutathione that comes in a liposome bubble. A liposome is a protective bubble that can protect the digestive system, protect substances from being degraded by the digestive system. Liposomal glutathione is available on the internet. I'm thinking of getting some liposomal glutathione put up on my website at brightsideben.com. At pharmacistben.com, where we're going to have a little shopping cart set up for you. Hopefully, we'll do that here in the next couple of months. One of the most important roles for glutathione, involves the brain and the nervous system. If you've got Parkinson's disease, dementias, palsies of any kind, Huntington's disease, whatever kind of brain health issue, glutathione building can be very, very helpful. And if you got really bad cases of neurodegenerative disease, you may want to consider intravenous glutathione. Intravenous glutathione, where they actually inject glutathione right into your veins via an IV, can be helpful for all neurodegenerative diseases. It can also be helpful for dealing with autoimmune diseases or immune disorders. And IV glutathione can be helpful for dealing with the most important of all the immune diseases, and that is cancer, which we'll be talking about here in a little bit. Actually, we'll probably cover that in the next couple of Brightside episodes. And then glutathione can be used for helping keep the skin from pigmenting. You can use topical glutathione as an anti-pigmenting agent, as a skin lightening agent for dark spots. There's a lot of high-end skincare companies that are using glutathione in their treatment products. Darkening of the skin that occurs over time can be related to oxidation of melanin, and glutathione is a wonderful antioxidant. Glutathione can also provide you with some solar protection, some sun protection. You can actually buy skin whitening pills, oral skin whitening pills that feature glutathione in addition to other antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin E. But you can save your money by getting yourself on the Mighty 90 using the basic amino acid supplements and then taking digestive enzymes and perhaps a good probiotic supplement. Hyperpigmentation or darkening of the skin should always be regarded as a sign of accelerated aging of the skin and weakened defenses. And the best way to address this is to make sure you're getting enough of these antioxidant raw materials and to make sure you're absorbing them. There's another real important reason why the skin will darken over time, and we'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking about pigmentation and peptides and eye health and nutritional supplements that you can use to protect the eyes. Thank you so much for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Check out my website, pharmacistben.com, or if you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear us talk about on the program, you can head over to brightsideben.com. Click on the Join the Team link and start yourself a longevity business. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about antioxidant protection via glutathione for eye health. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.